Here 6 months now, all the bill now is accumulating. I don't have anybody to help me. I don't have anybody to cry to. For complete 1 year now, I've been sitting at home without doing anything. Depression want to kill me, and I am crying every blessed day. Those people now, what kind of life they want me to live? How do I want to start? Where am I touching again? This life is so terrible.
Edem Emmanuel Archibong, a resident of Cross River State, Calabar, claims he was a customer of Access Bank for 4 years. He alleges one Israel Dennis Jacobs, a former bank manager of Access Bank, Calabar branch, defrauded him a sum of 5 million naira on 26th of August 2020. Mr. Archibong's case is not an isolated one. He is just one of many who have fallen for fraudulent schemes which promise them mouth-watering returns. He told Roots TV Nigeria how the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic had hindered him from becoming a major distributor in an unknown company. Instead of simply keeping the money, he decided to put it in a fixed deposit account.
So on that fateful day, I entered bank to go and deposit another 1.5 million, the money that I sold my laundry and my business money, because along the line, I want to become distributor in one of the company. Because of the pandemic, they said the money that I'm supposed to use to become distributor is not enough. So rather to make use of that money, I enter Access Bank to deposit my money in Access Bank account. So along the line, Israel sent someone to come and call me as a bank manager, and I listened to the person, and I went down straight to Israel. Israel began to tell me I shouldn't put the money in fixed deposit, that it will not generate any income for me.
Like other investors who are fallen prey to the antics of fraudsters, he said that the former bank manager Israel Dennis, alongside his partner Pilar Ekenson Abba, whom he had known for years, convinced him to take his money and invest it in an undisclosed oil company. He did just that. It is a decision which will come back to haunt him.
He's my bank manager. He's someone that I know from Main Avenue to Calabar Road, and I saw him like somebody that I know. That's somebody that is a very truthful worded guy, and being that he's Access Bank manager, and I know that he will have a strong guarantor, and assurance covers him, because Access Bank cannot give someone as a bank manager to manage a big firm like Access Bank, Calabar Road. Access Bank do not know anything about the person. You don't have guarantor, and you don't have any assurance who covers him. So Israel said that he will give someone the money. After 2 months, the person will bring interest, and along the line, he bring the person and will agree on something. And he said that is it because of 5 million naira he will run away, leave Access Bank. And I believe him because he's someone that I know from Access Bank and a bank manager in Access Bank. So along the line, the guy who Israel transfer 3.5.
Nigeria banks have continually come under fire over allegations of fraudulent activities and unauthorized transactions, allegedly aided by bank officials or fraudsters who were assisted by bank officials to scam their customers. Like many things in Nigeria, corruption may have found a place in the banking sector, with poor corporate governance systems and unethical practice. The Economic Financial Crime Commission on several occasions had stated how the citizens have lost and continue to lose their money, thereby compounding their economic woes. According to the Nigeria Economic Summit Group, over 90 million Nigerians fell below the poverty line during the last year. Also, according to the World Bank, 4 out of 10 Nigerians are living in poverty. Many Nigerians have become victims of investors who had presented themselves in a physical office with staff and a well-branded certificate accompanied with the logo of relevant regulatory agencies in order to earn people's trust. Despite enforcement and public enlightenment interventions, investment scams continue to thrive in the country to the alarm of many. Unknown to many, these operators capitalize on people's trust and greed to reap them of their life savings or retirement benefits, thereby leaving victims into perpetual poverty. 2 months after Mr. Archibong had made his investments, Israel and Ekason, his business partners, had escaped with his money, and the bank checks given to him by the duo bounced when he tried to cash them. He could not reach them.
So after 2 months, I went there. I did not see Israel any longer. So Israel Jacob gave me this check. Israel gave me this check, this particular check. This is a check of 5 million naira. This is a check of 5 million naira. He said that if anything went wrong, I can go direct and cash the money. And the Ekason also gave me the check of 5 million naira. And this both check, I have checked, we have slaughtered the check in bank. We cannot find any 1 naira in bank.
He said in order to get back his money, he had reported to the bank and reported to his lawyer, to the AFCC, but all efforts proved abortive. This, according to him, was Access Bank's response.
Because EFCC is supposed to hold bank have to produce the guy, because the assurance that I have, because the guy, I met that guy in seat of Access Bank as a manager. I did not met him outside. I wish I met him outside. I will not listen to him, but I met him because of the big firm that he worked. I believe that the big firm covers him, because I know that before you become a bank manager, you're supposed to have a 2 guarantor and an assurance supposed to cover him. Please.
After days of trying to contact Access Bank's headquarters, Abdul Imoyo, who introduced himself as the head of the public relations department, stated that the transaction between the duo is personal and not the bank's business, and it also not Access Bank product. Irrespective of where the transaction had taken place, you can't be pinning the transaction on the bank, as he was not asked to invest in any Access Bank product. These fraud schemes often leave victims in shock. While some people just accept their fate and move on with their lives, others slide into depression and many become suicidal. This is exactly where Mr. Archibong is. He says that he has had suicidal thoughts. He is desperate and is calling on Access Bank and meaningful Nigerians to help get back his money. Life has become difficult for him ever since.
So what I really want Nigeria to do for me is to help me beg Access Bank to produce the guy. Let the guy, because if I didn't see that guy working in Access Bank as a bank manager and the seat of a bank manager, I wouldn't have listened to the guy. Number 2, this money, I use the money that I sold, only the property that I have, which is the land. And my parents, over 1 year now, I'm not doing anything. Over 1 year and 6 months, I am not doing anything. No job any longer. Depression wants to kill me every blessed day. I am looking to my parents. I don't have any uncle, any auntie that cater for me. Right from my childhood, I have been struggling.
Sidiku Olayinka is an investment banker, economist, and policy expert. He says it is unprofessional for any banker to suggest an investment outside the company's plans to customers. He adds that all customers should confirm the authenticity of investments before funding them.
This is a one-off case. It shouldn't happen. As an investment banker, I would always advise my customer to invest their money on businesses that will give them not just yield, but give them trust and rest of mind. At any point in time where we are investing our money, let us always ensure that it's either FD, it is T-bills, or any other bonds by government that is from the bank or genuine from the CBN. Now, there are some investment opportunities that come in sometimes that you have to advise the customer to invest, but customers should also take it further by also doing their own assignments to ensure that this is the right business for them to invest in. If your account officer gives you an investment opportunity, confirm from the head of the branch, or even take it to a contact center to confirm that if I invest in this kind of business, what are the yields that I'm expecting, what are the interest rates, what is the tenure, all those questions that are very relevant to investment.
Apart from unauthorized transactions, Nigerians have become victims of fraudsters and scammers who might have gotten access to their account information. Also, it has been alleged some bank officials have either participated or abetted fraudulent activities by releasing the account details of their customers. We do not have definite proof of that in this case. Here is Sidiku Olayinka again.
If you need your account to be secured, you need to keep your account information private. No banker will call you for any of these details. The bankers have it. The bankers have it. If a banker would need for you to get any detail across to them, there's a way they do it. They'll either send you an email with a genuine email address, because most times the email address that they use for fraud sometimes also look like the bank's email address. But if you are careful to note, you will discover that yes, this is a fraudulent email address. Always tell the banker that you visit the branch. Whenever you receive a call that looks like a distress call that you're not convenient with, please come to the bank. If you cannot come to the bank urgently, please call your account officer. If you don't trust your account officer to keep your money safe, please call the bank.
But how can bank authorities handle fraudulent activities allegedly orchestrated by bank officials?
So we have two options. The first option that we have is to cooperate with the security agencies, whichever one it is, the Nigerian police, the Nigerian army, the DSS or the NSCDC. We have to get the courts to write to us, asking us to release the customer's details to all the security agencies. That's first. Then the second thing that we need to do is to, whenever there is an in-branch transaction that they have to walk into the bank to make withdrawals, we ensure that we provide footage, CCTV footage of such withdrawals to the security agents, and whenever we have pictures, we also make sure that is also made available to them so they can use that to track and to monitor for other tracking purposes that they have to do in order for them to be able to nab the perpetrator.
He advises that
your money is safe with the bank. Don't keep your money in your houses. Don't keep your money under the ground or not safe anywhere. Anything can happen, but if you keep your money with the bank, it is safe with the bank, and there's no reason why you should fear the bank. The bank is safe. That's why we have capitalization with CBN. Even though if anything happens to the bank, your money is safe with CBN.
in the meantime, all Archibong can do is to lick his wounds, hoping and praying like many other victims to get justice someday soon. A 2020 report by the Enhancing Financial Innovation and Access shows that only 64% of Nigerian adults were financially included by the end of 2020. The report further shows 36% of Nigerian adults, or 38 million adults, remain completely financially excluded. This indicates there is a whole ground to be covered before at least 70% of Nigerians are financially included. Such allegations of fraud by bank officials can only serve to frustrate any campaign to get them included. It is important for Nigerians to remember the saying, if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is.